Hi guys, I wanted to make a video on my healthy skillet eggs recipe. I probably should call it healthier because it's a healthier and lower calorie version of what I was making before, but it's one of my higher calorie breakfasts these days. When I was dieting, I needed to cut some of the fat and calories in my diet, so I made some changes to the cheese and ham version of my past. I added a lot of flavor to the dish and wound up liking it better too. Most of my breakfasts are oatmeal and boiled eggs, so I don't have to think about what to eat early in the morning. But I'll try to make this at least once or twice a week to keep things interesting. This recipe is easy to make with common ingredients and only takes about 15 minutes. Just one pan is used, which makes cleanup simple too. You can change the quantity of ingredients based on your own needs, but for me I use 120 grams of frozen hash browns, a cup or more of spinach. Today I'm using spinach and arugula, but these days I make this with kale. 3 tablespoons of salsa, 1 avocado, which is optional, 1 to 3 tablespoons of canola oil, and I'll also add some pickled red onions if I have them, and some sort of hot sauce, usually sriracha. Today I only had Tabasco sauce. First I need to heat up a pan on just lower than medium heat. I made this video using a non-stick pan, but these days I'm mostly using stainless steel, and I haven't had issues with sticking. Hash browns cook better with a lot of oil, and if I can have the extra calories that day, I'll add a lot of oil. Normally it's just 1 tablespoon of oil to coat the bottom of the pan. The hash browns don't brown as nicely that way. They're more like hash spots. Each tablespoon of oil adds about 130 calories, so keep that in mind. When the oil is shimmering, I'll add the hash browns and spread them into an even layer on the bottom of the pan with a spatula. Placing a lid seems to help them defrost and cook faster. The potatoes will cook this way for about 5 to 6 minutes. Meanwhile, I can slice up the avocado, start brewing my coffee, peel a mandarin, whatever else I need to do. A couple of minutes in, I'll check on the potatoes and press them down to try and get them to stick. Some types of hash browns stick together better than others. These Aldi hash browns don't stick well. They used to, but they must have changed suppliers. When the potatoes have a nice golden brown color around the outside, it's time to flip. I waited a little too long this time, and they're darker than I wanted. Cooking while recording videos is still something I need to work on. This is the tricky part. If the hash browns are sticking well together, a quick motion with a spatula usually flips them intact. Most of the time, I'll just flip them without tools. I'll normally do the flip over the counter. That way, if hash browns spill out, which they sometimes do, it's easier to clean. But who needs to move the camera so many times this early in the morning? I don't. The greens go in after the flip. This is a mix of baby spinach and arugula. I was eating a lot of spinach, which is high in oxalates. Probably contributed to developing kidney stones, which I needed surgery for, and that really sucked. So spinach is out these days and kale is in. With the cover back on, I'll cook the greens a minute to wilt, unless it's kale, which takes too long to wilt. After a few seconds, I'll check on the greens and move them so they're not touching the side of the pan where they might burn. The salsa goes on next. I use a spoon to try and make a little wall of salsa to keep the eggs from falling off the edge of the potatoes. If one falls off and touches the side of the pan, it'll cook faster than the other egg, and it won't look as nice. I never thought I would say this, but walls do work, people. Even a broken clock is right twice. Next goes on the avocado. Like the salsa, I'm putting the slice around the edges to create a well for the eggs. Avocados have a lot of fat and calories, so I don't add them too often, and when I do, I'll only add half. Some days though, I know I'm going to be burning a lot of calories before my next meal without time for a snack. So I'll add the extra calories for breakfast. Now we can crack the eggs in the center and hopefully they won't slide off the side. Usually I make this for myself, but you can also split this in half, maybe add another egg or two, a few more potatoes. The whole process from flipping over the hash browns until now should only be about 3 or 4 minutes. Cover goes back on and the dish will continue to cook at a slightly lower temperature for another minute, after which point I turn off the heat completely and let the eggs cook in the residual heat. I like my yolks to be runny while the whites are set, which usually takes about 4 minutes after turning off the heat. Condensation usually forms on the lid and drifts back down onto the eggs. Sometimes the eggs will look like they're still runny, but it's just water. Forgot to record the plating, but just be careful taking it out so it comes out in one piece. Some pickled red onions go on the top. Some hot sauce. I usually use sriracha, but was all out, so I used Tabasco. Black pepper if you like it and you remember to put it on. That's it. You're ready to eat. And this is one of my favorite things to eat in the morning. Let me know what you think about it.